And next up, we are going into top tier. Except when I say top tier, I mean like top tier with like quotes. Because technically, there is a top tier above this of like the true super top tiers. But like Zero Suit isn't a mid-tier character. These characters aren't low tier. These characters aren't bottom tier. These characters aren't extra bottom tier. Because I think there are so many good characters in this game that it's like top tier. If someone argued that any of these characters are top tier, I would agree. If you think they're high tier, fine. But I think there is a difference between this part of the list, the high tier part of the list, and then the next characters, but also there's a difference between the next characters and then the super duper good characters. This is top tier. First off, we are going with Olimar. Olimar is a character that I undervalued a lot because I was like, well, it's just a Buzz, and a Buzz is really good, and it's Shuton, so Shuton's really good. But then there are more Olimars doing well. Candle is doing well. Shuton is still doing very well. In fact, he might be getting better. Then you have Uame, who's doing really good. You still have Noe, who does decent with Olimar. There's a lot of Olimars in very specific, mostly in Japan, because Buzz doesn't really play, and he doesn't really play Olimar when he does play. But like mostly Japan and Candle, they have really good results, right? There are a lot of good results for this character. And he's a pain in the ass to play against, right? I don't think you have to be particularly precise to play Olimar. Some of his moves are just ridiculous. Like down air is just big. Like up B down air is just such a good disadvantage because down air also auto cancels forever. The disadvantage of this character is like way better than people think, including myself, because he has whistle, he has down air, he has just disjointed hitboxes out the ass. He does so much damage. He has such good killing potential, but some of his matchups are really bad. Some of the matchups are really bad, like Min, like Falco, like mostly those Game & Watch is really bad. There's a lot of Mario's really bad. There's a lot of really bad matchups for Olimar, which is why he's not higher. But like inherently, this character's nuts. This character's ridiculous. Next up is another character that is a bit of a zoner, but is also ridiculous, is Mega Man. You can't look at me and tell me that what Peanut's doing to these people is normal. Peanut's also God. He's so good, one of my favorite players. But like this character just doesn't interact with almost any of the threats in the game. The only characters that Mega Man struggles with are characters that force interactions upon him, but there are very few characters that do that without having another huge weakness to exploit, like recovery or like disadvantage, where like Mega Man might lose to Aegis in neutral and it's so hard. Down throw, back air, oh god, Aegis is dead because you're just going to get down aired. There's always an avenue in every single matchup for Mega Man to win. Which makes it's really difficult for characters to just consistently have game plans that beat Mega Man. There are characters that do just beat Mega Man, but it's always scary. They can, like Mega Man can always bring it back. Mega Man can always just be a little bit campier or be a little bit harder to hit. And like that's including characters like Pikachu, who I think do really well versus Mega Man, but this character's good. Okay, next up we have Sora. Sora is one of those characters that in my opinion is like in theory top like 10, but again, it's been 6 years. The only Sora to ever hit the combos is Rarkior, and Rarkior plays more Cloud than Sora, it seems like nowadays, because Cloud is just simpler to be good with, and sometimes being simple is good, and you don't have to hit these a billion frame perfect combos for a character to be good, because they are really finicky and really annoying. Are they broken? Yes, but like, it's been 6 years, no one's done it. So it doesn't matter, right? At this point, if someone does it, cool. You know, the couple of tournaments I've watched of Rarkior where he really specs into Sora and like just combos Gluttony to death, fucking awesome. It doesn't happen enough. So yeah. Next up, speaking of Rarkior's secondary, we are going with Cloud. Cloud's obviously very good. Spargo's very good. There is a huge gap between Spargo and every other Cloud, which is kind of crazy. But like Cloud is relatively simple, right? He has big hitboxes that swing big, do a bunch of damage. His advantage state is good. His disadvantage state is good sometimes. I mean, it's hard to mess with it because you have a move like down air where it's not like Link's where it's like super, like the Link characters where it's super committal. Like down air is so big and then it auto cancels relatively early and the hitbox is there for so long. And if you get hit by it, you can oftentimes get comboed. He has good out of shield options with mostly down air, honestly. Up B's fine, but you can fall out of it. But he's just one of the best ledge trappers in the game. Limit makes him scarier, both offensively and defensively. His grab game's pretty bad, but it supplements a broken button game. Like if he had a good grab, it would be insane. It would be insane how good this character was if he had like down throw, up air or something. Or like up throw, up air. Like, it would make Cloud top 7. Good thing he doesn't have that, right? That'd be insane. Next up is Wario. Wario, similar to Mega Man, but different because he doesn't have a projectile, can kind of force non-interactions until you get waffed. In theory, there's a way to play Wario where you get 2 or 3 wafts a game. But obviously, that's really taxing and really difficult. But also, he has the best movement. He has the best air movement in the game. Like, he has movement that no other character can do because he's like just a good amount of fast volley, but also he has really good left-right drift, and he can switch left and right super easily. His combo game is really good. His kill potential is really good. He's just strong, right? Obviously, he's very strong. Does he have struggle matchups? Yes. He struggles like problematically versus Steve, even though Gluto had his really good run at Kagadibi where he beat like 4 Steves, which was crazy. I would want, dude, that sucks. But he struggles with Steve. He struggles with Sonic. He struggles with Luigi really bad. So, like, he does struggle enough with common enough characters that it's a problem. Gluto is just so good that most of the time it doesn't matter, so it makes it look like the matchups aren't, like, the worst thing ever, but they're so bad. Plus, there's matchups like Palu and Corrin that are also really bad, but just not, like, horrifically bad. So, yeah. Next up, we have Bayonetta. Bayonetta is an interesting one, because the best Bayo in the world, in my opinion, which was Lima, doesn't play anymore. So obviously the results of this character have kind of tanked. Tama P doesn't go to a ton of tournaments or has been doing worse. Geist kind of is stuck in like the top 16 of majors territory, and Bloom doesn't really play anymore. So the character results have plummeted largely because 2 of the best of the characters don't play the character anymore, or don't play much anymore, period. Like Lima just went to his first tournament like a year at Comic Palooza, and I think got like 4th or 3rd. He did very well. The character's scary. The character can stall. The character can make games take so long, can non-interact. It's so hard to punish Bayo because she just gets so far on the stage. Her damage output's really good. The only thing about this character, the literal only thing lacking about this character is consistent kill options at normally threatening or like at good threatening percentages. She can get kills at 110, 120 with up tilt back air. Obviously, a witch time at any point can be scary, but she's not threatening kills against a lot of characters if you have proper DI and SDI earlier than like 100. I mean, she can edgeguard you. Her edgeguarding is really good, but it's all really weird and finicky, and like sometimes you just lose trades randomly to like disjointed spikes like Mega Man's or Pikachu's, which isn't even that disjointed, or Cloud's, or like sword characters that just like down air you and it doesn't matter. But she's ridiculous. She's really, really, really good. She's just not as good as the, in my opinion, super broken characters that are all up here. Like, there's nothing bad about this character. Speaking of character that I think is really good and pretty broken, Wolf. He does consistent damage. He has a very consistent game plan. Like, there's not really any holes in Wolf's game plan at all. He has good killing with fair back air. He has up B, he has edge guarding, he has 2-framing, he has mobility. The problem with Wolf is he's just not as belligerent. Like, you can't be belligerent as Wolf, which some top tiers you can absolutely just be belligerent and just do your one thing and it's going to work. Wolf has to respond to what the other characters are doing more often and more frequently, but he's really good at doing so. But he's not just like, I'm going to do Wolf things and that's going to be good enough. It's like, I have to respond to what my opponent is doing and then I will shit on them, which is different. You know, it's not quite the same thing. Which again, like, if you want to say a character's 4 places different, I don't really care. But like, I'm doing it in order. Next up is Diddy Kong. I'm still a little bit of a hater on Diddy Kong. I don't think he's super duper broken. I understand why people think he's good, because good out of shield options and the ability to turtle around. But I think a character that struggles with like 5 of the top 8 characters can't be that high, because he absolutely loses to Steve and he absolutely loses to Game & Watch, and in my opinion he absolutely loses to Rob and Luigi and Pikachu and Snake and Samus, and there's so many characters that in my opinion do pretty good versus Diddy Kong. That, like, obviously Tweak is God, and Nyono KNB has been doing really well, and obviously there's Ryuo who's pretty good. Like, the character has results, but if you are going to run into the most common characters that have the most top players, ignoring Pikachu, obviously, that's bad, right? You have to play so hard to beat these guys. There are a lot of characters that can give Diddy trouble above him, but also, of course, Diddy has randomly bad matchups, like Isabelle and Villager and Pac-Man and Ice Climbers. Like, there are so many matchups that are struggles for Diddy Kong that are worse than him, but he was supposed to, but like, then he has good top-tier matchups, except he kind of doesn't. He's good, he's fast, he's hard to hit. There's a bunch of good stuff about Diddy Kong. His damage output's really good, but I think like his recovery is a little bit too exploitable for my liking, and you know, people just get caught up by monkey flip. Next up we have Mario. Mario's obviously broken. He does a bunch of damage and he kills you, and his aerials are super safe, and he has really good fireball, and he has a good recovery, and he has good edge guarding, and he has the ability to reflect projectiles, and he's just good. And mainly the reason Mario is lower is because he just gets outshined and outclassed by some characters and has like not great matchups with like the super top tier common characters. He doesn't like fighting Sonic. He doesn't like fighting Steve. He doesn't like fighting Game & Watch. He doesn't like fighting Min Min. He doesn't like fighting, I mean, Rob is fine, but like, it's not fun for him because it's like, oh, you're just going to get down or 2-framed. Like, he can do it, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be difficult, right? Speaking of can do it, but it's a little bit difficult sometimes in the top tier, is Joker. Again, Joker struggles with some of the top tiers, right? Especially Sonic. It can be Mega Man, it can be Kazuya, it can be certain Zero Death characters that just beat him. Does well versus Game & Watch. I think loses to Steve. I mean, I don't know. I would say in theory he loses to Rob, but Leo beats the shit out of Zomba, so I don't actually know. But I don't know if that's like Leo and Zomba or Joker versus Rob. It's hard to tell. Joker's hella good. He's just not as good. Like, again, he's like a better wolf, right? Where it's like Joker oftentimes has to respond to what his opponent is doing and play around that. And he has the tools to do so. And he has footstool gun out of shield, and he has a bunch of good stuff. But he's just not being belligerent enough. And he's not like quite cheap enough for me to put him in like the super, like actual top tier. Next up is Ryu. I think Ryu is belligerent. I think Ryu is one of those characters. Obviously, he loses some matchups. He does bad versus Steve. He does bad versus Sonic. He does bad versus Game & Watch. So again, that's why he's down here. But he can do it, right? Oshimo's beat. I think he's beat Carmelo. He's won a couple majors under Oshimo. Iken has been having pretty good results recently as well. He had a really good run at Best of the West. I think he got second, only losing to like Spargo and Leo. Oh no, he lost to Spargo. Oh no, he beat Spargo. Who did he lose to in winners? Was it double Leo? It might have been double Leo or base mage and Leo. I don't remember. Something like that. Ryu's overall game plan is just so strong. And like characters can bully him sometimes at disadvantage, especially characters like Game & Watch or Palu. But like, then he just nares into you and you were slightly wrong once. Like you have to, Ryu's one of those characters that you have to so consistently be perfect against, and he breaks the rules of the game. So it's not just like, okay, well, I'm going to play a very normal advantage state. It's like, oh, well, he has focus, and oh, he has B reverse, and oh, he has auto turnaround, and oh, he has this. So like you can't just do normal things versus Ryu, so you constantly have to be on edge about every single interaction that is happening, which sucks. It sucks. Oh, he lost to Waka. Got it. But like I don't think his flaws matter, because like his flaws do matter, which is why he's not like top 10. But his flaws are not as impactful as his strengths by far, in my opinion. Next up, we have Mii Brawler. This character's cheap as fuck. This character's super cheap. Insane, right? Just even with just like only thinking of like the two movesets of like 1-2-3-2 or 2-3-3-2, this character's ridiculous, right? Command grabs, killing at 30, killing at 20, killing at 40, killing at 60, down throw thrupper. Great moves, great neutral. He's a little stubby and he's a little slow compared to a lot of other characters, or compared to like the other rush downs, but like he also threatens death way more consistently than the other characters. This is pretty low for me putting Brawler relative to my opinion. Like, I actually think he's still top 10, but like, I'm looking at the characters above and I'm just like, yeah, those characters are really good. So I feel like I can't put him higher, but like this character's nuts. And there are so many Brawler players doing well. Even it's like, I've never heard of this Brawler. Why did he beat 3 top players at a Kagedibi? He's just good. He's just really good, and he's really oppressive. And if you can't deal with him, it's a problem. And I think he does like okay versus the top tiers. He beats Game & Watch, which is huge. He loses to Sonic. He probably slightly loses to Steve, but it's playable. He beats Rob to hell and back. He beats Min Min, but he loses to characters down here like probably Wolf, and I think he loses to like Sora and Cloud. So like he has some good matchups, some bad matchups. Sonic being his worst matchup in my opinion. I mean, he also loses to Luigi and Kazuya. So like enough characters beat him that like it's not like he just like, oh, I can just walk up with. I mean, and I think that the matchups aren't as bad as some of the other brawlers, but it's still not fun. And there's enough even matchups that he has, but like he's so explosive, so like you have to respect him all the time. Next up is Palu, kind of the opposite of Brawler, where it's like, hey, I'm gonna hit you and I'm gonna kill you and I'm gonna do my game plan. Palu is one of those characters that responds to other people's game plans, but I think she is probably the like second or third best character of doing that. Right? She's super fast. She has amazing aerials. She has great two-framing. She has great ledge trapping. She has great positional advantages. She has good matchups with the top tier. She does okay versus Steve. She does okay versus Sonic. She beats Game & Watch probably. She beats Rob. She, I think does okay versus Min Min. I think beats like Samus, beats a lot of characters beneath this. Like, if you don't beat Palu, the matchup feels terrible. And there are very few characters, I feel like, that can just like shut down random explosiveness, and Palu is absolutely one of them. I mean, obviously Louis Money's results have been ridiculous recently. The character has a bunch of tools, and she's just fast enough that you can outsmart basically anyone. My O tier list was so much better than this tier list, then go watch it and give me more view money. I think the tier list is good. Next up we have Corrin. I don't care that Shattuck's not doing as much anymore. Neo's still doing really well. And I think this character's ridiculous. I really wanted to put Corrin in top 10. We're getting pretty close to the top 10. I think this is like number 16, so right outside the top 15. But this character's really strong. Neutral's really good. The dash shield being frame 7 is crazy. Or frame 8, I guess. Obviously really strong advantage state, obviously very strong killing, obviously very strong positional advantages that the character has. Again, dash shield being so fast means that you can very rarely catch her out of position, but she struggles with some of the top tiers, right? She struggles with Min Min, she struggles with, like, not like super struggles with Min Min, but like, it's not easy. She doesn't beat these characters, but she loses to Steve, she loses to Sonic, she loses to Game & Watch. You can beat those characters. I mean, I know that Shattuck has beat Meister a couple times, I think has also beaten Monty, but like, has he beat Mia? I don't know. Has Nail beat Mia? I don't think so. And there's just a couple of characters that are just a little bit too belligerent, a little bit too good for her to be higher. Next up, we have another sword character, actually another 2 sword characters, and that's Pyra and Mythra. Character strong, have weird opinions of Pyra and Mythra because I think that, like, low-key they're not that good relative to all these characters, right? I think they're like Joker level, but like everyone plays this character, and the ease of use of this character in everywhere but dying, like everywhere but disadvantage, is like so good that like you can't ignore it, right? Mythra is so fast. The advantage state is like top 2 or 3 in the game. You're not necessarily going to get super consistent kills with this character, but that's what Pyra is for, where you ledge trap and you get a forward air, you get a down tilt, or you get a jab on the neutral get up. There's options that this character has to just be strong and be good. It's just so good. But I don't think the character's top 10. I don't think the strengths are strengthy enough. Next up, we have Roy as the final character in not quite top tier, because I think that Roy is still better than Aegis. The character's pressure is more scary. The character's disadvantage is better. The character's random kill potential is higher. I think that Roy is a perfect blend of Pyra and Mythra, where you are fast, you have great tools, you have good ground moves, you have good ground setups, you have good ledge trapping, you have strong aerials, you have strong killing, but some of your matchups are not good, right? Roy loses to Kazuya, loses to Pika, loses to even Pichu, loses to probably a couple characters on this part of the list, but you can always make it work. Cole has been playing ridiculously well recently. Ataru, aka Alice, has been playing ridiculously well recently. I know that, I'm pretty sure Lancelot also plays Roy and has been doing pretty well with him. Roy is just doing really well recently, and I feel like you can't ignore the pressure and the sphere that comes from fighting this character. So I honestly was really close to putting him in the super top tier, but I think, you know, losing to like Steve, Game & Watch, probably, Min Min, losing to Luigi, there's a couple too many scary matchups for me to want to put him in super top tier. Is Roy's side B or cross slash better? Side, I think overall Cloud side B is better, but like Roy's side B is ridiculous, so.